Hey everyone, uh, I need you to hear this from me. Just for a second, I need you to put down the weight of the questions, the what ifs, and that heavy, persistent feeling that you've done something wrong. You're sitting there, maybe in a quiet corner of your room, or perhaps you're just finishing a long day, and your mind is scrolling through old conversations like they're evidence in a trial. You're looking for the moment things shifted. You're looking for the mistake. Welcome back. It's Anna, and tonight we're going to sit with a very specific, very tender truth. This feels important, really important, because sometimes when a situation feels like it's slipping through our fingers, we start to blame the very thing that made us feel alive in the first place. We start to call our capacity to care a weakness. I've titled this Loving Me Was Not a Mistake because I feel like someone watching this is currently trying to rewrite their own history with ink made of regret. You're trying to convince yourself that if you hadn't opened up, if you hadn't been so vulnerable, you wouldn't feel this restlessness now. But that's a lie your heart tells you when it's trying to protect itself from the cold. I want to ask you right now, and maybe you can share this in the comments, when was the last time you were actually proud of how much you were able to give, regardless of the outcome? It's possible that lately you've noticed a quiet tension in your chest when you think about a specific person or a specific chapter of your life. It can feel like a work decision where you went all in and it didn't pan out, or a friendship that shifted into silence without a clear explanation. Some people experience this as a tightness, a feeling of being fooled. You reread a text message from months ago and you feel a sting of embarrassment. But let's pause for a moment. In some situations, we mistake the end of a cycle for a failure of our character. We think that because the bridge didn't reach the other side, we shouldn't have started building it. But I feel like the act of building was where the growth happened. The mistake isn't in the loving, the mistake is in the belief that you are less than because a situation changed. Hold on, let me slow down for a second. I'm not sure why, but this feels important to say. Vulnerability is not a debt you owe to someone else. It's a gift you give to yourself to prove you're still breathing. Take what resonates here. Trust your inner knowing. You remain in control of your choices, and you are allowed to be proud of your heart, even if it feels a little bruised right now. I want to ask another question for the comments. If you could go back and tell that younger version of yourself, the one who was just about to open up one thing that isn't a warning, what would it be? Maybe you're walking home and you notice how the light hits the pavement, and for a split second, you feel that old warmth, and then you immediately shut it down. You tell yourself, don't go there. You think you're being safe by being cynical. But it's possible that this reflection is inviting you to consider that your mistake was actually your most courageous moment. I remember once I was sitting at my desk looking at a letter I never sent. I felt so foolish for even writing it, but then I realized the person who wrote that letter was brave. The person who felt those things was capable of a depth that not everyone reaches. Some people experience a realization like this and they feel a sudden relief, like a fever breaking. It's the brutal news that you don't have to be ashamed of your emotions. You may notice that as you sit with this, the person or the situation starts to feel smaller and you start to feel larger. That's the grounded empowerment I want for you. You aren't a victim of your own kindness. You are the source of it. Let's look at the sweetheart part of this. It's a term of endearment, but it's also a reminder to be sweet to your own heart. We are often our own harshest critics. We judge our past selves with the knowledge of our present selves, which isn't fair. You didn't know then what you know now, but even then, your intent was pure. Loving that job, that person, that dream, it was a valid use of your time. Um, I feel like someone is struggling with the silence between them and someone else. You're noticing the silence in the room, the silence in the phone logs. It feels like a secret. You have to keep the secret of how much you still care. Don't say anything to anyone. You tell yourself. Don't let them know. It still hurts. But why? What if the secret isn't a secret? What if it's just a fact of your humanity? Let's sit with this for a moment. You remain the narrator of your own story. If you decide that loving me was not a mistake, then it wasn't. You get to define the meaning of your experiences. You can choose to see that chapter as a masterclass in resilience rather than a tragedy in 3 acts. In some situations, the most grounded thing you can do is acknowledge the pain without letting it define your worth. It's like noticing a bruise on your arm. It's there, it's real. It might even throb, but it isn't you. I'm curious, what is a tangible, real life detail that reminds you of your own strength? Maybe it's the way you handle a difficult work week, or the way you keep your plants alive, or just the fact that you show up here to reflect. Let me know in the comments. I love those grounded details. I feel like there's a shift coming in how you view your past. It's like rereading a book and realizing the villain was just a person who didn't know how to handle the light you were shining. It doesn't mean the light was a mistake. It just means the room wasn't ready for it. You may notice an unexpected conversation soon, not necessarily a revelation or a sign, but just a normal human interaction that reminds you that you are seen. When it happens, don't overanalyze it. Just be in it. Trust your inner knowing. Let's pause. I want to leave you feeling grounded. I want you to feel the weight of your own value. You are not a collection of mistakes. You are a series of courageous choices. Every time you chose to care, you won. Even if the situation ended, you won because you didn't let the world make you cold. Take a deep breath with me. You've got this. You are in control. The secret is out. You're human, you're deep, and you're incredibly capable of moving forward. Thank you for being here with me tonight. It's Anna, and it's been a privilege to hold this space for you. I'll be in the comments reading your reflections. Remember, take what resonates and let the rest drift away. I'll talk to you soon. Goodbye for now.